Hello, dear student. Welcome to my channel. If you're preparing for IELTS, you came to the right place. My name is Soraya Quirino. I'm a teacher of English, and I've been preparing students for IELTS since 2010. I also offer courses for Duolingo English Test and the OET. So, if you're preparing for one of these exams, please start following me on Instagram and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And today we're gonna work on reading, and I'm gonna show you an academic reading test. So if you're studying for the general module, you can also stay here because this is gonna be useful for you as well. After all, the techniques that you're going to employ will be the same. So, as I told you, this is an authentic reading test, and it is part one. Remember that the reading test is divided in three parts: parts one, two, and three. Part one is obviously the easiest part, and this text is about stepwells. And I believe that most of you who are watching this class don't know what the word stepwell means. But it's not a problem because you don't need to know the meaning of a specific word to answer the question. And I'm gonna prove you that. Please don't look it up in the dictionary right now. Stay here with me and forget about the meaning of this word by now. I will tell you what it means later, and I think you will also figure it out as you progress and you answer the questions with me. But what do you have to do when you begin your reading test? So I'm going to teach you the strategies that I teach my own students. What do you have to do first? My first advice actually is you should never read the text. Yes. Weird as it may seem, you will never read the text in detail. You will not read the text before you take a look at the questions. However, I think it is very important for you to know what the text is about. So the first thing you're going to do is to take a look at the heading and the subheading. So let's read the heading and the subheading together. Stepwells. A millennium ago, stepwells were fundamental to life in the driest parts of India. Richard Cox traveled to northwestern India to document these spectacular monuments from a bygone era. So we know that stepwells are monuments. We don't know exactly what kind of monuments they are, but we're going to understand that later, as I've already told you. Guys, I'm just trying to change my microphone so that you can hear me better. I think now the sound is better. Yes, yay. So I have a professional microphone here that wasn't working, but now it is. And this is enough. We know it's a monument, and we know it is important in the driest parts of India. We don't need to know anything else. So now, what do we have to do? We have to go straight to the questions and take a look at the questions. So we always focus on the questions and look for the answers to the questions without reading the text previously, without having read the text previously. So keep that in mind. Reading the text is a waste of time. You will waste time, and remember, you only have 60 minutes to answer these questions, 40 questions in total, and you absorb a lot of information that you don't need because the questions, they focus on very specific parts of the text, as you're going to see here. So this is a true, false, not given task, which is very common in IELTS. It's definitely the most common task in the reading test. And what do you have to do here? You have to analyze each statement and decide whether the statement is true according to what is mentioned in the text. False, if it contradicts information given in the text, or not given, if this is simply not mentioned in the text. And let's take a look at number 1. So the first statement. Examples of ancient step wells can be found all over the world. So this is the first statement that we need to decide. We need to decide whether this first statement is true, false, not given. So I really like to highlight information. And what are you going to do? You're going to focus on keywords. These keywords will help you locate where the answer is in the text. So all over the world is a great keyword, but you have to remember something. They paraphrase in IELTS. In IELTS, they never use the same words in the questions and in the text. So all over the world, perhaps the text is gonna mention different parts of the globe, different countries, different regions, or is gonna use a word like worldwide. So try to think of synonyms. And what do you have to do now? We're gonna take a look at the text, okay? And this is the first question of the first exercise. So that means the answer is probably at the beginning of the text, because on the IELTS, the questions follow the order of the text. So I'm going to scan the text. So you have to use this very important reading technique called scanning. Scanning is the main technique that you're going to use in IELTS. So you're going to scan and try to find any information that refers to all over the world, worldwide, or different regions, different countries. So our stepwells, can stepwells actually be found in different parts of the globe? So then I'm going to scan here, couldn't find anything in the first paragraph. But if I pay attention to the second paragraph, right at the beginning, I'm gonna find this information here, unique to this region. So let's stop here and read this part in detail. When you locate the keyword or something similar to keyword, or sometimes an antonym to the keyword, which is the case here, unique to this region is the opposite of all over the world, right? So unique to this region, stepwells are often architecturally complex. So I already know that stepwells can only be found in India, right? So let's take a look back at the question. Stepwells can be found all over the world. No, they are unique to the region. So that means the answer is false. The text clearly says that stepwells are unique, and they can only be found in India. So I have already answered the first question, and I did not need to read the entire text to do that. So now let's take a look at the second question. Let's see what we have to highlight here. Stepwells had a range of functions in addition to those related to water collection. So I think I'm gonna underline functions, range of functions. So instead of just focusing on the word functions, I can think about like, what were they used for? They were used to collect water, as they say here, and other stuff, or no, they were only used for water collection. So let's take a look at the text. We found the answer to the first question here. So we will never go back. Remember, the answers will follow the order. The questions will follow the order of the text. So I will look for the answer after I will look for the answer to number 2 after the answer to question number 1. So, great. During their heyday, they were places of gathering, of leisure, of relaxation, and of worship for villages. I already know that the place collected water, but they were also places where people would get together, where people would relax, have some enjoy their free time, and also worship their gods. So it was also used for religious purposes. So, of course, this is true. They had a range of functions. They were not just used for water collection. So, according to the text, this is true. And the few existing step wells in Delhi were more attractive than those found elsewhere. So, Delhi is an amazing keyword. Why? Because it can never change. You cannot like replace Delhi with a synonym, right? So Delhi is a great word. Names of places, names of people, dates, they are great keywords. The word more attractive, and I would think about synonyms. So were they more beautiful? Were they more attractive? Or also an antonym, ugly? Maybe the text is going to say that the stepwells are ugly, and then we're going to have to write that this is false. So let's go back to the text where we stopped, and we found the answer to the previous question here. So I'm going to continue reading from here. So let's take a look. I'm going to look for Delhi and for attractive, beautiful, something like that. I found the word Delhi here. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to read what the text says about Delhi. So most stepwells are found dotted around the desert areas of Gujarat, where they are called Vav. I think this is the pronunciation. This is like their language. I don't know. Rajasthan, where they're called Bauri, while a few also survive in Delhi. So they mentioned the word Delhi here, but they don't say anything about the stepwells in Delhi. Like, were they more beautiful? Were they uglier than the others? They don't say anything. So I'm going to continue a little. I'm going to take a look at the next paragraph and see if they say something different about the stepwells in Delhi. So I don't see the word Delhi here. They say nothing about Delhi here. They don't say anything about it here. And if we take a look at this entire part, they don't mention the word Delhi anymore. So what does that mean? They don't. Let's take a look back at the question. Okay. They don't say anything about the stepwells in Delhi, whether they are more attractive or not. So that means the answer is not given, because there isn't information that contradicts this, and there isn't information that supports this idea. So nothing is said about it, and that's why the answer is not given. You see, we answered 3 questions out of 5, and we only had to read 1 paragraph. So why are you going to waste your time reading the entire text before working on the questions? No, 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 no. You have to stop that. If you're reading the text before answering the questions, you are doing it wrong. So let's continue. Let's take a look at number 4. It took workers many years to build the stone steps characteristic of stepwells. So I would definitely underline the word workers, and perhaps they're going to use a synonym like builders. And I would also underline stone steps. So did the workers take many years to build these stone steps that are like characteristic of stepwells? So let's look for these words and synonyms, and then we will try to answer the question. So we found the answer to number 3 here. So I'm going to continue from this part. Okay. So they mention travelers, but not workers. Stone steps. So we have the word stone steps here. Let's see what they say about it. As their name suggests, step wells comprise a series of stone steps descending from ground level to the water surface as it recedes following the rains. No. When the water level was high, the user needed only to descend a few steps to reach it. So they don't say anything about workers, about the construction of stone steps here. Let's take a look at the next paragraphs just to make sure they don't say anything afterwards, and then we can read our conclusion. So let's see here. No, they don't say anything about stone steps or workers. Industrial use. No. So they don't say anything about building the stone steps, and they don't even mention the workers. So we already know that the answer to this is not given. So not given, sorry. Not given. Again, you didn't need to read much. You see, we are still stuck here to find the answer. So, number 4. Now, we are going to continue from here. But let's take a look at the last question first. The number of steps above the water level in a step well altered during the course of a year. So, did the number of steps above the water level change or not? Did it change or not? So let's see what the text says about it. I think we read something about it, right? When we were looking for the previous answer. So let's see, stone steps. So as the name suggests, step wells comprise a series of stone steps descending from ground level to the water source as it recedes following the rains. When the water level was high, the user needed only to descend a few steps to reach it. When it was low, several levels would have to be negotiated. So when it rained a lot, the level of water was higher, and when it was dry, the level of water was lower, so you had to go down more steps. So this is true. It is true that the number of steps above the water level changed. So here we are going to answer true. You see, we only had to read and to focus on 3 paragraphs to answer this first question. So it is important for you to understand that you don't need to read the entire text. Okay? So now we are going to continue. We're going to take a look at another exercise, and this exercise is a short answer exercise. We're going to use the same technique. We're going to use scanning. Scanning is the most important reading technique that you need to learn if you're going to do a proficiency exam. Whether you're going to take IELTS, TOEFL, DT, or OET, it doesn't matter. Scanning is a crucial technique that is gonna help you find the answers more easily, and also to answer the questions more quickly. So let's take a look at the questions. Which part of, very important, you can only use one word. If you answer the question correctly, but you use 2 words, you won't get a mark for that. So you have to follow the rules. Which part of some step wells provided shade for people? So a part of the step wells provided protection against the sun, shade for people. Let's see what it is. So guys, this is the second exercise. We are going to continue following the order of the text. So here we found the answer to question 5. We're going to continue from here. We won't go back. It's not usually necessary to go back. Okay, so let's see if I forgot the question. Which part of step was provided shades? Okay, for people. So let's try to look for shade, sun protection, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to scan the text, just look for the word without thinking, without trying to understand anything. So I found the word sheltered. So a shelter is a protection. So let's stop here and read this part in detail. Built from stone and supported by pillars, they also included pavilions that sheltered visitors from the relentless heat. So I found the answer, right? The name of the place that sheltered people from the heat, from the sun. The name of this place is pavilion. It's in the plural form, so we have to write the word exactly as it is here. So that means we're gonna answer the question here, and the word is pavilions. Guys, I have an extra tip for you. If I were you, I would always answer the questions in capitals, because then you won't make mistakes. If a word begins with a capital letter, like a day of the week, a month of the year, and you forget it, you won't get a mark. So if you write everything capitals, then you will never have this problem. You will be on the safe side. And what type of serious climatic event which took place in southern Rajasthan is mentioned in the article? So let's see here. I will definitely underline the word southern Rajasthan, and I'm gonna look for a climatic event, a hurricane, a storm, what else? An earthquake, flood, landslide. So let's look for southern Rajasthan. This is number 6. Nothing here. Western India, but nothing was said about southern Rajasthan. Aha, I found southern Rajasthan here. So let's see. Their condition hasn't been helped by recent dry spells. Southern Rajasthan suffered an 8-year drought before 1996 and 2004. So I found the climatic event here, which is the drought. So I'm gonna write drought. Yes, guys, the pronunciation of this word is drought. Believe it or not. I've seen a lot of people saying draft, but no, this is drought, seca, drought, when the soil and the weather is very dry and there is no rain. Who are frequent visitors to stepwells nowadays? So visit? Who are the people who visit stepwells? So let's see what they say. They're probably gonna mention a group of people. Oops. Okay, take a look back. So we found the answer to number 7 here. So I'm gonna continue from here. I'm gonna look for the verb visit, or a synonym for it, or also a synonym for visitors. Nothing here. Let's see the next paragraph. Archaeological, no. No. So nothing here. Another example, no. No, they don't say anything about visiting the place here. Nothing. So I'm gonna continue. A queen was built up. No, nothing said here. Next. Perhaps one of the most... no, they don't say anything about visitors here. Let's continue. So here also nothing. So it can only be the last paragraph, right? Today, these monuments. Aha! Tourists flock to wells in far-flung corners of northwestern India to gaze in wonder at these architectural marvels from hundreds of years ago. So tourists, they often go to this place, of course. This is the type of attraction that tourists love. So basically, a step well is a well that collects and keeps water, and it is like a rectangle or square with steps. All right. And when it rains, it collects water. So it's something super important in this dry area, as we had already read. So let's continue. We have another exercise here, and very important to pay attention to the number of words and numbers. So here we can use one word and or a number. So that means I can use one word to answer a question, one number to answer a question, or one word and one number together. This is what I can do. If I use two words, I'll be making a mistake. If I use two numbers, I will be making a mistake. So be careful. So here we have amazing keywords. The name of the stepwell. The name of the stepwell will never be changed. So you have to focus on it and look for the information that you need to complete. So let's begin with Rani Kivav. So this is the first, I think this is the pronunciation, guys. I don't know because I don't speak their language. Okay. So let's see. Restored in the 1960s, excellent condition, despite the of 2001. 2001 is also another great keyword to use. Actually, it's a number, it's a key number. So let's look for these two keywords, 2001, Rani Kivav. So these are two central pieces of information. Perhaps here, no, I don't remember this name being mentioned in this part. Aha, Rani Kivav. So it is in excellent condition despite something that happened in 2001. Let's look for 2001. I found 2001 here. 2001. So let's see what happened. Incredibly, in January 2001, this ancient structure survived an earthquake. So despite the earthquake, it is in excellent condition. So the answer here is earthquake. You see? Easy peasy. Now, Soraya Quirino and steps. So definitely a keyword. Steps on the something produce a geometrical pattern. I will focus on geometrical. Perhaps they will say exactly what geometrical pattern it is. A diamond, a star, a rectangle, an hexagon. Looks more like a than a well. So it's comparing this place to something else. So let's see where they talk about Soraya Quirino. I found it. You see, it follows the order. Okay, it resembles, it looks like, so I found it resembles. Now let's look for geometrical. You see, it is here. So let's see what they say about, so it actually resembles a tank rather than a well. I found one answer here, but display the hallmarks of step well architecture, including 4 sides of steps. Okay, so let's answer. Steps on the sides, right? Produce a geometrical pattern and looks more like a, as we said before, like a tank. It is here. Where is it? Where is the word tank? I got lost. It actually resembles a tank. Kund means reservoir or pond. Okay. So, looks more like a tank. Easy peasy. Now, next, Chand Bauri, I don't know. I always have fun with these names. Old, deep, and very dramatic. Wow, has which provides a view of the steps. So, what does it have that provides a view of the steps? Let's find out. So, let's get back to the text. Sorry, what is the name of the place again? Shanbauri. Okay, where did they talk? Ah, here. So, we're going to skip the next paragraph. I don't need to read the previous paragraph. And it's perhaps the most dramatic. You see, they also mentioned this word here, deep, old, very dramatic. So let's see what provides a view. Okay, built. No. Where did they say about a view here? Okay, verandas. So verandas or overlook the steps. They provide a view to the steps. Okay, so verandas. I know the answer. I'm gonna write it here, verandas. And the last one, this weird name that I can't even pronounce, Nimarana Kibauri, and has two levels. So has two, I don't know, upper levels. Let's find out. Used by public today. So let's look for this name and let's also focus on levels. So let's continue from where we stopped. So here is the name of the place. So I'm going to look for level. Ground level. No. With the last two being underwater. So it has two underwater levels. Okay. So underwater levels. So as you can see, to answer part 1, I only used scanning. Some teachers, they say that you always need skimming and scanning to answer the questions. And I say, no, this isn't true. You don't need scanning. You need scanning to answer some specific types of questions, but it's not something that you always need to use. So no, scanning will be used in some specific questions like matching headings, but to answer these questions here, only scanning was necessary. So let's review the steps. Step 1, you're going to take a look at the heading and the subheading of the text. Step 2, you're going to take a look at the questions. So analyze the exercises. If you see they are exercises like these ones that we did here, short answers, true, false, not given, table completion or summary completion, you know that you only need scanning. So you're going to focus on each question at a time. You're going to select a keyword from each question, and you're going to use this keyword to locate the answer in the text. And once you find the paragraph where the answer is, you're going to stop and read that small part in detail, and you're going to answer the question. This will help you save time. This will help you feel less tired, because if you read the entire text before you answer the questions, you will become tired. You will waste precious time, and time management is very important in IELTS. So use my technique. I call it keyword technique, and it's going to help you answer the questions more effectively and also much more quickly. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this class, and there will be more classes like this. So if you watch this class, take a look at my channel. You'll probably find more, because every Tuesday I'll be live here at the same time. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Brasilia time, okay? So keep on studying hard and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.